You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Welcome to episode 80 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, Dirt. Today is, yeah. Well, I really want to do it to let everyone know that tomorrow, which is the day too late, is tax day. So if you're listening to this and you need to do your taxes, too bad for you. Extension, come along and spend the next hour with Joey, Brian, Jessica, and Mr. Pryor himself to talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, or just playing bikes.
I feel like I'm going to just sit back and let you run, because we didn't even do the I'm Brian. I
didn't do that.
We didn't
I'm not
do
that slick.
Any of that stuff. So I'm gonna kick that off then, since you hate all the rest. I'm Brian.
I'm Joey.
I'm Jess.
I'm Dave.
We are very excited here on episode 80 to have Mr. Unpaved himself, Dave Pryor, here for the whole episode, folks. He's going to be in on the whole dirty kitten caboodle. I've been waiting to use that.
Oh, you like that?
I do.
You're welcome.
I think we need to trademark that, like that dude trademarked all of the Redskin names.
Oh, yeah.
Alternatives.
Yeah.
So that...
I've not heard that.
Yeah,
I
Alex
just like
and
that you're
Chris.
going to get sued.
Yeah,
and
Alex
I trust those guys over you.
Yeah, Alex and Chris are going to have to come to us to beg us to use Dirty Kitten Caboodle. Like they would ever want to. I do think it has a certain something that rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Well, not to completely derail things already, but I have an idea for unPaved. It's like two versions. One's called Kit, one's called Caboodle, and if you put them together, it's the Kit and Caboodle.
That's funny.
I love it.
I've been talking about that for 2 years on how to make an XL, and I would be combine two cool courses. So anyway, but you can edit that out.
No, we don't edit anymore.
Yeah, I know you don't. Oh, I listen to the show.
I take hiss out, and that's about it. Hey, Joey, before we get too deep, any Patreon or PayPal support to talk about?
We always have supporters, listeners, and monetary supporters. But yes, no one knew. Well,
I could have sworn...
The new people could be, this is people's first episode listening in.
I could have sworn I saw a Patreon notification come through on my phone that we picked up a new Patreon supporter, but I can't find it on the Patreon site. So if there is somebody who is new to the support family and we're missing that for some reason, we're going to get that caught up. I've been on the Patreon Reddit, the subreddit for Patreon, and I know they've had some problems.
Yep.
Some dude there doesn't have teeth, and he is messing everything up. So anyway, if we've missed somebody, our apologies, and we'll get that all rectified and squared away.
Yep.
Any T-shirt, stickers, anything?
No, but I have caught up on all stickers as of last Wednesday or so when I dropped them in.
Good job.
Cool. So if you're expecting stickers to show up and you give USPS, you send it to the Postal Service, so give them a little bit of time.
Yep.
And if they don't show up, let us know.
Kick rocks.
And we'll get it all taken care of.
Actually, I owe Dave some more stickers. He told me a long time ago his daughter took them all.
I still owe. Speaking of
Travis?
Dirty Kitten, I owe Alex and Chris a whole bunch. They asked me for a whole bunch of Love You Buys to give away at the event.
Are we almost running out of those finally?
Yeah. So hey, Theodore. Okay, let's do a round table. What everybody's drinking. Joey, what do you got in your cup?
Vodka, ginger beer, lime, and ice.
Otherwise known as the Moscow Mule.
Yep.
Nice. Dave, what do you got? I saw you with a growler.
I am drinking, it's a brewery out of Bethlehem, which is very close to my day job office, Pond Brewing.
Nice.
And I'm drinking their Scooch IPA.
You know what? I'm coming to the IPA bandwagon slowly but
Slowly.
surely.
There you go.
This might be a little aggressive for you at this point, but I have faith. I have faith in time.
Maybe
By the time unPaved rolls around,
I'm working on them. Don't worry about it.
Good Rusty Rail IPAs.
Yeah.
The Fog Monster is in your future.
I will. Maybe I'll be a man by then. I won't have teeth. I know that. Jess, what have you got?
Seltzer.
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol.
We're all good. And I've got my unsweetened iced tea
But
from
you're drinking out of a straw, which
Roy
is
Rogers, which is big
better
for me.
than last week.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am now able to eat regular food for the most part, and I'm able to use a straw. So I'm very excited about that.
Are you doing unsweet because we're talking about unpaved?
Yeah, that's it. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. Let's go with that. I just don't
Marketing
do
right
sugar.
there.
You're in Maryland. Why would you drink unsweet tea? That's where I fell in love with sweet tea, is in Maryland.
I have a huge jug of sweet tea on the other side of the table.
Yeah,
You know, I
sweet tea's
used
the
to
best.
drink a lot of sweet tea, but there's something about an extra 60 to 80 pounds on my frame. I think had something to do with it. So.
I didn't know if the sugar rotted your teeth out or.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you. I threw that softball up there. And Jess had it out. Come on, Brian.
A baseball to my face actually rotted my teeth out.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's do another quick round table and just catch up really quickly. For me, my shoes have come in. One pair of them got lost in the shop for a couple of days.
Oh, they're there.
And I now know that they're there. I got my RX-8s today. I'm very excited about that, but I did not get a chance to try them because I was running errands and I just didn't have time to do all that and still ride the bike.
I'm pausing this for a second.
Oh, please?
Because when I was listening to last week's episode about how many shoes Joey owns, I was like sweating bullets. I was like, holy shit, why does he have that many shoes? Why are we doing this? But I'm okay now.
You know what I did before? Oh, she doesn't listen. My wife doesn't listen. So I ripped the sticker.
Sticker, yeah.
It's like, oh, take that price tag sticker off those RX-8s before I take that box.
Yeah.
home. I ripped that right off. Joey, what about you?
I got my sandals in, my gravel sandals.
Dave, that was about my reaction when I opened up that box today and I saw the
I
thing.
know.
So I do want to be clear. I will never probably actually ride gravel with those.
I hope not.
Like-
You were going to be a sight for sore eyes with your Hawaiian t-shirt and your flamboyant,
Oh, I'm totally like when group rides are a thing again. I mean, I'll group the Saturday morning group ride or the Thursday night with mountain bike shorts, a Hawaiian button down, and sandals. I mean,
you know, that'll be
and I'll be the quick guy and all that crap. People,
because if you wore those at unpaved, Jess, you'd be spending the evening picking gravel out underneath his toenail.
oh, it's a horrible design for gravel, but you know.
Now, Jess, I know you had some news you wanted to share. You were talking about your road ID stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm
and some
doing a
other
road
stuff.
ID giveaway for my birthday. So it's a $35 gift card. It is a hat and a t-shirt, which is kind of awesome. We're doing it for a St. Jude fundraiser, so always kind of cool. I'm very excited because my virtual marathon is the week after unPaved.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to do both. But last year I was stuck out with cellulitis, so we'll see.
Gotcha.
We'll see.
And Dave, I think we're going to dive right into the deep end with.
Did you ask Dave what he's been up to?
Well, that's what I'm getting ready
Oh.
to do, and I know
Well,
it's all
that's
going to be
good, 'cause
wrapped. It's all going to be wrapped around trying to make registration work.
I'm just trying to fit in with the cool kids, and I got a paddleboard. I'm a paddleboard.
Oh yeah, we were going to
Oh,
talk about
yeah,
that.
we were gonna
Yeah.
talk about
He was in his
that.
paddleboard in his living
I
room
was
the other
afraid
day.
I wouldn't have anything to talk about with you guys, so I went out on a boat.
give us the skinny. I saw that
Yeah.
picture on Instagram too of the kitchen paddleboard.
They are super cool. We got Celine did all. It was great because Celine did all the research on this. Being a gear hound now. So inflatable stand-up paddleboards. These are from iRocker, the black fins.
Okay.
It's interesting. We kind of talked about it. It's more than she wanted to spend, but that it's kind of like the same thing with people on bikes. I'm like, really? A good bike costs how much?
Did you forget
But you
about
get
that
on,
once
like,
you started?
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it takes 5 minutes to inflate, and I mean, I'm not, actually now down to 185, but 200-ish pounds at times, and you'd swear you're standing on a rock solid paddleboard that's not inflatable. It is absolutely amazing.
That's awesome because that makes them very portable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super port bright. So I have a little Subaru Crosstrek. We can throw those and a couple bikes and a tent and camp stuff, and now we can go someplace that has a bike thing and water thing, and not have to get like a pickup truck.
Cool.
You know, it's ridiculous. They're so good. And then like another 5 minutes to deflate and it rolls up into the bag easier than like a tent
Nice.
breaks down.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
wonderful husband put his kayak on top of my Subaru Crosstrek, and now I am missing a tail light. A whole tail light.
And that's the thing. We used to have kayaks, and there's such a pain to get to transport anywhere if you don't live on water. We stopped using them and then sold them.
Yeah.
But these are like, oh, just keep them in the bags by the garage door and throw them right in the car. And then, and actually where we rode over the weekend, there's a great mountain bike trail that's like an hour-ish, which we would never drive all the way to just for a short mountain bike ride. But to do a short mountain bike ride, have a bite to eat, and then go out for another hour-ish on the water, that's a great afternoon.
That's a
I
great
was
day.
wondering
That's
why Miss Valentine had water on her Strava this past week.
We were comparing comparing Strava versus stuff, I go to the app I got to check out. But yeah, that's funny.
That's
the
funny.
new Strava thing.
That's awesome.
They're pretty cool.
Did she get any QOMs? I didn't look.
Oh, I was just joking. I mean, I think she did. I thought I saw it the other day.
She crushed that segment under the bridge.
Actually, I made a new segment. I gotta make it public at the Holiday Inn for bike shop employee test drives to give them some motivation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, too, 'cause- well, I said it with an e-bike, so anyway.
That could be super
Was that the
dangerous.
foldable e-bike?
Yep.
Well, let's turn our attention collectively to the massive. Oh, go ahead, Joe. Joey's
well,
got something else.
Can I ask? I don't know how Dave's going to do it. Can you describe this as if I didn't read your post?
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Oh,
you,
okay.
Dave. So
I was a little confused. I just figured I'd hear it from Dave.
that's what I
before
thought. I was
ask
going
questions.
to say, I had a really nice segue going.
Oh, well, just this is a
okay.
bike podcast, though.
We can turn our attention now to unpaved, and Dave, that actually, Joe, you got a good point. I'm sorry. Walk us through it like we are the uninitiated.
Yeah.
And let's start with the event, and then let's after that let's circle back to some of the thought process, because I know you put a tremendous amount of thought and heavy lifting and effort into trying to make it the best unpaved that it can be in this 2020. So I want to turn it over to you for just a little bit here, Dave, and sort of walk us through it a little bit, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of touch on that last point before we get into the nitty-gritty details, we are very lucky with unpaved for a lot of reasons. I mean, a lot of reasons holistically, but specifically for this year. The fact that it's later in the year and we've seen how things are going, seeing that outdoor recreation, outdoor activities seem to be fairly good, I think so far. And like and I also have a day job at a university, and I know a lot of people connect to the universities and healthcare systems. So getting a lot of feedback from really, really smart people. That's my superpower, is knowing smarter people than me, and them telling us what they're seeing, what they're seeing in the trends that happened, like with the Black Lives Matter protest. And there haven't been giant spikes in Minneapolis and other places because a lot of things were outdoors and they're using good protocols. So watching things like that. Pennsylvania has done a tremendous job mitigating this and doing things slowly, especially for being so close to New York and New Jersey in very hot spots early on. We've certainly had struggles. We've certainly lost lives and had a lot of fight with it, but we are doing really good so far.
Yeah.
So we are cautiously moving forward. We have a limitation in the state right now for gatherings need to be 250 people or less. So we are doing that. That is what we're at right now. If that changes, we can try and adjust, but that is going to be our marching plan. And in some ways that also helps because it is easier to keep people 6 feet apart when there's 200 of them, not 1,000 of them. It's easier to make sure people are wearing masks in the communal areas when there's 200 and not 1,000 of them. And it's easier to just get people in and out and not have to use indoor facilities when there's 200 of them, not 1,000 of them. So, and in some ways it's actually been helpful to think of that size group versus 1,000 size group. So it's not unpaved that we've been dreaming about for 5 years and we've been doing for 2 years and really starting to love. It's definitely a different event. That's a different year. So
Sure.
We're going that route. And we'll be honest, like we don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 months. Pennsylvania just we've been using a red, yellow, green phase system, and all of Pennsylvania went to the green phase, which doesn't mean like anything goes. It just means cautiously move forward in more normal circumstances. Go into stores and restaurants, but it's still with some limitations. So we've all been green since right about the beginning of July. So that still gives us a few more weeks to see how that goes. If we start having spikes, then we will probably close unpaved. When Bucknell University in the town of Lewisburg comes back to campus in early August, if they start having spikes, then we might have to cancel unpaved. Like there's still so many things we're going to keep an eye on with all of this sort of stuff. And there are starting to be events that are happening, other mountain bike events, other things in this region. There was a crit race where everyone rode a mask in a crit race, which
Wow.
sounds insane, but the people who did it, and everyone got feedback, is like, that's nuts, I would never. And the people who did it are like, you'd be surprised. So I wouldn't necessarily want people to have to wear masks for an entire unpaved. I don't know. Maybe if it's really cold that day, you'd wear a neck gaiter over your face anyway. So we'll see. We're being cautiously optimistic and moving forward as best we can.
Good.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds like, because I've heard you say a couple times, we may have to cancel. We may have to cancel.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's, just because at this point you say it's happening doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. And I think that's a big thing that people need to understand.
Yep.
There's
and I'd
always
like
that.
to stress, and I know as an event person, and I know being married to Celine, not everyone reads every word of the reg page. Not everyone reads the waiver. Not everyone reads all the emails. In fact, it seems like most people don't necessarily read much of any of those things. Because I know 2 guys who signed up for the women's category because that was just the top one. They just clicked it. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read. I'm like, that means you didn't read the waiver. Like, it's really important right now to read all the rules, all the conditions, all the protocols, in case you're uncomfortable with any of it. Read the waiver in case you're uncomfortable with any of it. Read our refund schedule. It is not 100% refund or deferral no matter what. It is tiered on a time based off of when we need to pay for things, when we need to invest in things, and then, with a week to go, if we are still a go the weekend before unpaved, and the state is still clear, and the town is still clear, and everything's still a go, but something crazy happens 2 days before and we have to cancel, then it's not a refund. And that's just the reality of kind of doing the business right now.
Yeah.
And people need to know that sort of stuff. You need to know that you're involved in this and not be surprised when things change, because we are in a time right now where surprises happen constantly.
And you've got hard costs that, the closer you get, the further down the road you get, the closer to the event, the more of those dollars are spent. And, I've said it, I think I said this almost initially right out of the gate. It was like, if we want, as a gravel community, if we want folks like you to step up and do the heavy lifting and create these amazing events, we're going to have to participate in that process to an extent.
Yep, absolutely.
We've got to suck it up and say, okay, I think every event that I've registered for this year that I've paid money for, when I've gotten the email that says, what do you want to do? I've always said, just take the money. Keep the money. And I'm not doing that to pat myself on the back, but I think it's something because I'm doing it because I think it's something we ought, if I'm going to say we should do that, then I need to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. So, I'm telling people, do what you want with the money. If it's going to a charity, give it to the charity. If it's going to your expenses, put it towards your expenses. Do whatever you need to do, because I want to make sure that those people are back again whenever this is able to loosen up. And so we have this, because it's all about community. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, sorry to sidetrack there, Dave.
And that's so appreciated. I mean, regular listeners of the show know that you have lost a significant amount of income this year. And so it's hard to ask people to say, can you suck it up for me? Because we are in this together in the community. So we're doing the best we can and trying to be straightforward. But, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think that we aren't going to have the turnout necessarily. I don't think we'd have 1,000 people come to an event anyway this year,
Yeah.
So, because it's just hard and there's risk involved and people are struggling. People don't have jobs and people, it's been a absolutely horrible year. So, but we're trying to have something positive while we can do something positive. If outdoor recreation is positive and we can move forward with it, then well, shoot, let's try and put a little silver lining on this. I think
it's great that you're taking it on, because I mean the risk is high. The risk is very high that not the risk, not the health risk. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the risk of moving forward with all of this planning only to have it sort of maybe collapse on itself. I mean, the risk
is tied with all these things. I mean, the risk. I was riding with someone on Saturday, and on the first descent of unpaved, there's a right-hand corner that I warned everyone about 100 times, and people crashed on it still. And he was telling me about how the guy almost crashed him out. And it's like, how could people not know about this? I mean, so there's a risk with everything we do, and there's a risk putting people out on the course that these things are going to happen. So I think there's something with being a promoter and saying, it'll work out. I mean, I used to promote Junkyard Cross, and I knew people were going to get hurt at that event. So there's some of that, being okay with the fates of Earth going, well, someone's going to lose teeth doing this.
Hey,
Hey, I resemble that remark.
hey, real quick, is this like what was that one right before Philly Expo, like the Belinky Cross? Oh man,
Junkyard Cross was in December. It was never held at the same time as the Expo.
Is that
we
the
used
one
to have
though?
Spooky Cross at the same time as the Expo. That was a very underground, might have been a lot of trespassing situation that,
What's that?
I probably shouldn't talk about anymore.
Maybe it's the I don't know. There's videos up, and I don't know if it's right outside Philly. Are we talking about the same thing?
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You never
Junkyard Cross? Oh, Junkyard Cross went on for almost 10 years.
Yeah, you
Junkyard
never
Cross
seen
was a legend.
Belinky Bike Junkyard Cyclocross? Is that?
Yep.
Yeah, you never seen
That's
those videos?
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh man, like
I
you
didn't
need
know
like
what
a
you were
tetanus
talking
before
about.
you start that thing.
Okay.
Oh,
It's awesome.
yeah.
I
Or
wish
you're
they were
gonna
still
get it
around.
afterwards. Like you can get your tetanus re-up before, or they're going to ask you about it.
Oh,
immediately.
sorry. There's just sidebar on that because those look so awesome. I wish I could have seen them.
They were setting those up. I worked on, say, like the last three, I think 3 or 4.
Nice.
Our rule is we were setting up the course is like, you don't have to hurt yourself to finish a lap, but if you go for it, you could really hurt yourself.
Sorry, they're just pretty cool.
That's the sign of descend. Is
Yeah, it's one of the best YouTube rabbit holes you can go down.
Yeah.
Is Blinky Junkyard Cross.
So let's walk through the format of 2020 unpaved, and I think everybody's excited that I want to be able to say that I was a part of 2020 unpaved because it was the year that everything went sideways, and this is something that happened. And even honestly, Dave, if it goes sideways, I want to be a part of it. So let's walk through it. What's it look like?
Well, I was thinking about knowing I was going to be on, and I thought maybe the way to do this was to be set up as a this or that. Would you guys want to play along?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
So we're doing unpaved
all right, so I say
explanatory this or that.
Joey starts this time, then Brian comes in, and then Jess mucks it up.
Yes. Perfect.
All right. This or that. Ride unpaved in 1 day or over 2 days?
Which course or all of it?
I didn't expect follow-up questions.
Well,
it's
120
Joey.
I know, I should have because I listened to your show. 120 miles on 1 day or spread out the best parts over 2 days, but they won't add up to 120 miles.
Oh, I would love to spread it out over 2 days.
Okay. I'm also in the 2-day camp.
Yeah.
Just simply because it extends the fun.
I feel like you have more time to take everything in.
Yeah.
And you're not stressed as much. I
And
don't know.
it's more of ride than
It's an adventure.
yeah, exactly.
Not like
So,
bite the bullet and you got to do 120 really quick.
yeah, I'm in the 2-day camp as well, Jess.
100% 1 day.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I am sleeping more. I have less prep work for school because I'm digital now, I mean,
All right, forget about that.
things are, but I'm better trained now than I probably have ever been.
okay. So you're thinking that you can tackle that. You can take it.
Yeah, and those
Because-
whoopie
I
pies.
don't know.
And one day, like one good binge day of whoopie pies and bike riding and
Okay.
woolly worms. Like, I can do it. Bring it on a single speed.
I mean,
hell yeah.
I am not in that shape. I mean, that
Joey-
is great. I mean, we did like a sub 5 hour century when we first met, and that's probably the best I'll ever ride.
Your wife just made us
That's
both look
smoking
like
fast.
little
that was
kids.
smoking when she left me on that ride. She could have done
I
like
got a flat. I had to wait for you.
that. Yeah, that we were. I was in great shape that year, but
Okay.
2 days. I don't know. 2 days. It just sounds fun. Whoopie, you get double the whoopie
Don't
pies.
try to convince her. Share her answer.
I'm 1
It's
day.
her
I'm
answer.
sorry.
Yeah, but we're going up together.
Well, then you have a whole day when she's out slaving away on the bike to just,
All right.
chillax.
What is your choice, Dave?
It's both.
Oh, true.
Hence the this or that.
That's it. Yeah.
Actually,
so
I could.
we are setting up unpaved because it's not hard enough to run one event in 2020. We're going to do 2 events.
Well,
So yeah, like we talked about, unpaved on October 11th, open for 200 people. The full 120 mile course is it. Now, those of people who've done the course before or can look at a map can tell that you don't necessarily have to ride 120. There's the cutoff points that we had before are still there.
Yeah.
But it's It's $150. It's 120 miles, and we'll get into some of those details later. The other option we're offering up is we're calling the Weekend Challenge, and that can be done any weekend between August 1st and October 11th, or weekdays too if you have free time on the weeks like some people do now. And we've set it up as 2 Strava segments, which are basically 2 of the best parts of our course. The first one, they don't have to be, they can be done in either order. Say the first one though is 25 miles. It's basically the loop of the proper 54-mile route that's in the forest. So Brian, I think you did this last year.
Yep.
So it starts at the base of Jones Mountain, goes up our biggest climb of all 120 miles. So it starts there, climbs all the way up Jones, goes through that vista, rolls down that long, beautiful descent, takes that left onto Slate Run Road, which is one of the prettiest ones in the state forest. Then another left up the Hobo Vista, and then bomb back down to the bottom of Jones Mountain, and voila, that's the Strava segment.
And there's a brewery
and
there.
Then we'll get to the brewery.
Can we get Wes standing up front for everybody?
Wes did say he was coming back for unpaved.
You believe that?
No.
Okay, Dave. Sorry, we rambled off.
That's all good. The second one, so say do on the second day, is the difference, which is the 30-mile option. 30 miles. That's the difference between the 120-mile course and the 90-mile course, which has 4 sustained climbs, has the infamous long wheel draft 4-mile rowdy descent on it.
So like that 4-wheeler trail?
And that's it's more of a Jeep road than a gravel road. Potholes and puddles and all that fun stuff. So that's what people talk about. The hardest part of our 120 is that section. So we wanted to make that someone had already made it a Strava segment, so that made it even easier for me to do. So the way we're kind of setting this up, those are the 2 Strava segments. They're up on Strava, and when you go to our Ridge page, you'd see those are the ones to highlight. Now, to ride them, obviously you don't need to park at the base of Jones Mountain and try and ride it back to your car. You can start the ride in Lewisburg and ride the rail trail out and take some of the pretty roads and then get to it and basically do the 54-mile course. Or you could park at the Rusty Rail Brewery, start your ride, and come back to your vehicle at the Rusty Rail Brewery and go straight inside from there. You can basically make your day out of it as long as you do the segment. And then the same thing would apply for the difference. You could park either at Popatty State Park and stay there and do that, or we kind of made a course where it's easier to get to because Popatty is a little bit hard to get to. So if you park on the other side of the rail trail tunnel, you get to ride the rail trail, go through this really beautiful tunnel over to Popatty, and then you do the difference, and then you ride, like 4 miles flat back. So you get both of those ride with GPS routes in the confirmation email to do that. And if you want to do something else, contact me, and I can help you find a million ways to do courses up there.
So,
and let me just add one more thing with that that's really helpful. That the Susquehanna River Valley Visitors Bureau, the tourism, our sponsor, has set up is a lot of great hotel deals.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you're spending the weekend, that's going to later this or that. Never mind. Edit that out. We'll get back to that later.
Well, I picked the Chatterdens.
I looked in my notes. Or you can mow someone's lawn and they might let you stay there for free.
Okay, so let's go. You actually sound like one of your this or that's are going to lead into what my next question was going to center around. So go ahead, Jerry.
Have you? I know I've been reading about too much vodka. The reservation you've started actually
registration.
Man, I can't talk.
The registration.
So I know a couple days
lottery.
registration was broken, right?
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part.
And that's open now. So you're having people sign up for both options, I guess.
You can sign up. Yeah. So again, we have 200 people, 200 spots available in the full 120 one day.
Yep.
Realized there wasn't really a good time to set that up where it would be fair and equitable to everyone. So we did the lottery system.
Okay.
Smart.
And so that registration opened up officially Monday morning at 9 instead of Sunday morning at 7. But it's open now.
Okay.
What we're doing with that is if you're interested in doing the full 120, sign up. It's free to sign up. But if you get in, then you get charged the $150 fee.
Nice.
If you don't get in, 2 things. One, if the world becomes a better place and we're all cautiously optimistic and we can have a larger event, then we'll be able to pull from that wait list for that.
Yep.
Or if you don't get in and we can't make it any bigger, or for some reason we cancel, then anyone on the wait list gets, we'll do an early bird registration time for 2021. So that's, as a way to say thank you for at least being into us. We'll open up registration. I don't know what it'll be, like a week or a weekend or something before it's open to the public.
Yeah.
So
I could see the Alonzos, the more competitive people doing the 120,
I-
and the
Right.
fun adventure people
And the
doing-
Jess.
Yeah.
or maybe
Jess.
your wife.
My
Yeah.
wife. Yeah. Sorry, Jess. Sorry.
It's okay. Alonzo and I talk back and forth almost daily about.
You can go
doing
ride.
unpaved
You and
together.
Celine can go do the 120, and then we'll go and have fun.
There
Anyway,
you go.
And
And there's a way to do it too. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the way to do it too. I think it's a good way to spend that out.
what's our next this or that?
Our next this or that would be ride unpaved solo or with your friends who either drop you or take forever up the climbs.
Joey. Joey.
I don't know how to answer that one. I rode to the beginning of the climb with my friend who begged me to not go up the climb, and I'm like, "Come on, man, it's a little at a time." So, I don't know. I don't know if I could answer that one based upon the situation. You know what I mean?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, I would ride with you.
yeah.
I'm comfortable with.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ride by yourself or ride with people that you've selected
With
to ride
friends
with.
who you can't really like get a good pace with. Like,
Okay.
Either they're ahead of you or they're behind you, or you're just like, screw it, I'm riding it by myself.
I would like to ride with somebody. More peace of mind.
Even if they're dropping you or you're
Yeah,
waiting forever for
I
them.
feel like if there is like a communication thing where it's you're keeping each other in check. Something goes wrong, you know what I mean? I don't know. There's not much cell phone service out there, so I feel like having someone
That
with
is
you.
true.
Like I found that out. Asked my wife, who yelled at me.
Now I have a little tracker thing. So I
Yeah,
know
but
where
there's
he
not
is.
there's not much service out
You
there.
won't
Joey's,
get that
Joey's
either.
been microchipped. Just stop by
When
any
he's back
vet.
in civilization, you can
Yeah.
tell when he's at the brewery, but you won't tell when he's
Yeah.
out in the woods.
I would ride with people, even if I had to wait or if
Yeah.
See, I would feel bad if I asked somebody to wait for me. I mean, that's the dilemma.
I don't.
Well, there's also that, man.
I always
Getting
do
dropped.
that. If I get dropped, it's like, okay, I'm dropped. I'm a big boy. I'm okay. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
But I don't have any problem like getting to the top of a climb and chilling and waiting for somebody, which is what I would do. So I think that's kind of my take on it. I wouldn't want to ask people to wait,
I feel like
and I'd be okay if they
Yeah.
dropped me and then I finished solo. But I'd rather ride with people. Is
Yeah.
that kind of like in the direction of where you're wanting to go, Dave? Like, yeah. Jess, what about you?
I get dropped all the time.
Not what it sounds like.
Well, okay. So when I'm in like this run group, right? And I'm like the last person all the time. But like when I'm biking with like Joey and Wes, like I'm usually farther ahead. So
Wow.
I mean, right?
actually the single speed was the best thing
Yeah.
for my
single
riding.
speed
Right?
has
Because-
We're
been,
gonna
yeah.
get to the single speed.
She
That's
doesn't
all.
understand the gear ratios, so I just set her at like, all right, here's my
Go.
pace. Yeah, like, all right, she can't go any fast. Like, here's her on the flats. That's good. But you throw some gears under her, I'm totally behind.
Yeah. So I mean, it feels the single speed has taught me patience.
Yeah.
Which is probably the best thing it
I
could
love it.
ever teach me. But I'm okay getting dropped.
Well, can I back up a minute? Can we come back to me for a minute?
Yeah,
No.
of
Because
course. It's all about you.
one thing that COVID has
It is your
done
podcast.
is I'm actually okay with solo. I it's not that I haven't missed the group atmosphere, but I've kind of gotten to this place where I go out and I work on the segments in the places where I want to work hard,
Yeah, you
and
will.
I relax in other places. So it's like I'm almost like gotten better in tune with myself. That sounded very like granola. Sorry
So-
about that. I'll
I like
stop
it.
now.
It is. It's very granola. I mean, so I'm the opposite though. I'm a bike shop employee. I never get a ride when the riding's good. So I do
Yeah.
enjoy
Right.
people, but I also hate riding with people when they know I'm a bike mechanic.
Oh yeah.
I love riding with a bike mechanic.
bet
I like cheering on people, so it doesn't matter
Yeah.
where I am in the place. I just cheer for absolutely everybody.
I love that too. I hear you do that. So that's awesome.
What's my saying, Joey? You go athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You go, athlete.
You go athlete.
She will literally talk to everyone on the ride. So, like, when I was telling you about that century we did, Dave, it was Seagull. There's literally 10,000 people on 3 different courses.
Go through Easton.
Yeah. She would, I mean, she said something to every rider we passed.
Because saying on your left is rude. You have to be like, you're doing great. Keep it up,
Good
athlete.
job. I would say
Yeah,
good
job.
exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah. What about you, Mr. Pryor?
Well, I'll just give you the correct answer.
Sorry.
Because it is, for the full 120, it's going to be solo. Like was Brian was saying, that's the world we're in right now, and that's how we're riding. So we are going to set people off one at a time. You will, when you sign up, you kind of give us there's a follow-up question in the registration. Tell us how you plan to spend your day. Are you someone who wants to, I'm just there to see all the sights and sounds, and I'm willing and able to spend all day out there if I have to, or I'm not going to dilly or dally, but I'm not trying to race, or I am trying to race because there's a whoopie pie I could win. And so tell us that, and then we'll seed you based off of that, and we're going to send people off one at a time. Which is something I've been thinking about anyway, just to thumb noses at people going, oh, gravel's going to be pack racing, like road tactics and all that. Like, not if we make it a time trial.
Yeah, no, there you go.
So this year we're making it a time trial because it's a weird year. Why not make it weirder?
Yeah.
So it's going to be solo.
Okay.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's a great photo opportunity in the beginning. I mean, I think there's so many cool things that you can do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't ride with a computer, so I'm just out there.
You're just out, yeah. And that's kind of the reality of a lot of the gravel things anyway, is like, especially, I don't want to overthink about the racers because so many times when we talk about events, we think about the racers. And what racers have appreciated about gravel is that in a crit or a road race, when you're dropped, boom, your day is done. You might as well just pull over and grab a sandwich and get a car.
Been there a lot.
But that's not how gravel goes. Like any racer who gets dropped from the lead group realizes I'm still on a great bike ride today. And that's why they've started to come to gravel. It's not because they're trying to win money. That's for sure. It's not because of any of that other stuff. It's because they're actually seeing what we've known about gravel and bug riding all along. It's like, this is just a great way to spend the day. And if I can have a result, sweet. If I don't get a result, I'm still having a great day. And so that's kind of relevant. And, this year it's going to be your own adventure. It's going to be you out there having your day.
There's another benefit too, for you, Dave, doing it like that. You don't have to find some rejects to do the lead out.
Well, since you guys did perfect the lead out, I mean, we had to change it.
That's true. That's true.
You can't really top 2019.
That's a quality point. All right, next up on this or that. Ride 120 miles completely unsupported, like gravel days of old, or have your snacks waiting for you at aid stations.
I kind of like the gravel days of old.
Yeah.
I think it just adds that fun factor, that little bit more of a challenge. I think people want that challenge.
120 miles.
Yeah. Get a Nittany
feet
Mountain Works frame bag.
Yeah,
throw it on your bike. Evan will be out there just slinging them out there for like $50. I don't know what they cost. $70, I think. I don't know. He'll maybe make you an unpaved deal.
We are doing top 2 bags with unpaved patches.
Oh,
so
that's
check our
I don't know.
I would totally go for the 120 solo self-supported. I think that is legit. It's badass, and it's the way to do it. The only thing you have to worry about, I think, is water.
There's so much creeks out there. You just fill it up.
There you go. You just get
I
yourself
don't even
a
drink
filter.
out of the faucet.
You get a filter.
You're from Jersey.
There are springs. We can't say that they're drinkable springs, but they're drinkable springs.
Get yourself a filter. Mini Sawyer. You're done. That's all you need. That's all you need. I love it, Dave. I would go with that, like rugged, self-supported all day long.
Yeah, I think it adds that cool factor to it. I mean, but they also don't have to worry about the factor of everyone. So there's some people that I see it in the bike shops that people are precautious about stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah, so it takes away that peace of mind. I don't know. It's a peace of mind. You have all your own stuff, maybe.
I maybe I come at it from like the bike packer mindset, where it's, I'm going out in the woods for 4 days.
Yeah,
and I'm carrying all my food for 4 days. I'm carrying tents. I mean, that's my mindset that I'm coming at that.
You're taking a tent on the 120?
No, I'm saying when I'm bike packing, I'm carrying everything. So
Yeah, when I said 2 days,
what was his name? Army
J.
Army. Yeah, that was the
yeah.
coolest guy I met in the bar that night.
Yeah.
You can go. You can go camp with him.
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, you're really not going to have to carry that much for 120 miles. I mean,
make some rice cakes.
Yeah, I go out for 50 and 60 miles, and I don't even stop to take a break. I don't.
Pin a rose on his nose.
No, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I love it. I think it's actually that self-supported mindset, and it also changes the quote-unquote race side of the house too.
Yes.
Because now you've got to balance what you carry versus what you need. It's another wrinkle in the challenge that I think is pretty cool. Jess?
I think I agree with Joey. People handing me water, gloves, stuff like that. I don't want anybody touching things like that. If you're...
I only think of that when I hear Matt Hawkins' thing from Croatan and the Volunteers.
Yeah, I had the volunteer that came up.
What was that?
Well, Matt went through that whole thing and canceled just the day before, and he sent out a follow-up email. I think it was about 2 weeks later that one of
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, one of his volunteers that was going to show up, that was going to be working food prep and handing out stuff, actually tested positive. And that would have been, he's looking at that going, if you don't think we made the right call, here's an example of why we made the right call to not do it. Because that guy would have been sitting there talking to all of you people, handing you stuff.
That was pre-mascara.
Right.
Yeah.
And exactly. That's pre-mascara. That's before people thought about questionnaires and temperature checks. And
correct.
We're going to do multiple questionnaires. I'm going to look at anyone who's in, what state they're coming from, and if they're on Pennsylvania's list of you must quarantine before. And if you have to quarantine before, I don't know how you're going to guarantee to me you're quarantined before. I might just refund you on the spot and say, sorry, you can't come.
And I wasn't stating that.
Temperature check Saturday when you checked in, and you have to check in Saturday to do that. And the questionnaire, you have to get another temperature check Sunday. Again, everyone read the stuff because it's not going to be walk up, grab beers, and throw down, and also go for a bike ride. Like, it's difficult to do in these conditions.
I should make a YouTube video for you, and I'll just read everything that everyone has to watch.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to
read.
make sure people
listen.
don't come.
Dave, have you thought about it, and not to throw something your way, but I know that Alex and Chris did this with the Dirty Kitten Gravel Grinder.
Dave thinks of everything.
They said, if you're outside of the 3-hour drive, this isn't for you.
I know, and I need to look and see how far I am because I think I'm outside 3 hours.
Dang, Brian, you just locked us out of unpaved. We're like 3.5 hours.
No,
well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm so close. No, I did.
Saying.
We honestly almost made it Pennsylvania only, but we're still 3 months away, and things change so much. And kind of what's the difference between like Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, and Easton, Pennsylvania, and Phillipsburg, New Jersey, just across the river.
Yep.
Like, what's the difference between those two towns? Nothing. The difference between Warren, Pennsylvania, and Johnstown, New York? Nothing. Neither one have had any cases, really. Philly and Newark. Or Philly and, Camden. I mean, those are kind of the same. So, I will look at, when we do the lottery, it's not 100% random. I mean, they're definitely going to look at things.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff will be one of them. But also when we did the survey, like 85% of the people said that they wouldn't fly to an event like Unpaved. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't fly to an event like mine or TK or Rebecca's or any. I'm not flying right now. So I'm not too worried about people coming from Arizona, Florida, those states right now. And who knows, those states may change in 3 months. It's going to be a constant communication system. And it's going to be clear and things. But I also think, at least I hope, the gravel community is so great and so strong. And we're all in this together, and we're all fairly sane. Or at least we were last year, so hopefully we'll continue to be sane through all this. But if I reach out to someone and say, sorry, I can't let you in, here's your refund,
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay with it. But if they're not, then those are the hard decisions you got to make sometimes.
So you have
it sucks.
a lot because school's opening in August, September, and we
Yep.
don't know what that's going to look like even
Exactly.
yet. So who's going to know what October is going to be? Because by October, we
Right.
could all be digital again. You know, it only
Exactly.
takes one case to get us off of being in the classroom and back into digital learning. So
Right.
you have a lot
so
of things.
Lewisburg, yeah, exactly. Like Lewisburg, Pennsylvania is the home of Bucknell University, which is a very similar school to the one I work for, Lehigh University. We're identical schools in a lot of ways. So we're going to, the things that we're super worried and concerned about at Lehigh, they're doing the same at Bucknell. And if spikes happen in there, then they're going to happen in Bethlehem. That means you're going to have other places, and then it's off. Because that's bringing people from all sorts. I mean, most of the people who go to Bucknell are not from those three counties. They're from all over the East Coast. So we also have these things go. But yeah, we did think seriously about that range, that radar of things. I just was not willing to do like the zip code count of like, sorry, they're too far out or that sort of thing. So right now it's open, and then it's the reality is it's going to be 80 to 90% Mid-Atlantic people that come to this.
And
No
really,
one's going
all
to travel from
all we're
Michigan.
talking
I already
about.
got told people like Wisconsin saying we love you, but there's no way. Like, of course there's not. No way. Don't feel bad.
And all we're really talking about is the actual 120, 200 rider.
That's true too. The weekends,
you're
you're doing it on yourself. Like you're comfortable and you're safe and you're good. And the town is in a great place. They've got a great hospital system. They've had very few cases in that region. Tourism is open and outdoor tourism is great. And they have a lot of protocols. The hotels have a lot of protocols in place. I was just in hotels in Pennsylvania and seeing everything that happens. Put your mask on when you walk in, and things are going to be, as it seems, fairly okay.
Yeah.
Seems to bring risk down. The restaurants have set up systems. There's a lot of takeout, but there's also a lot of outdoor dining and stuff in that in Lewisburg. So as far as the weekends go, that's more wide open. It's definitely, I'm not watching that at all. It's that mass gathering sort of thing that I'm a little more, we all need to be more concerned about.
Right.
So
Right.
by spreading it out with a time trial, and it's not going to be 250 people at a start line with a bunch of hooligans leading him out on the rail trail. I feel better about it.
Yeah. We got more of this or that's?
We do. There's another point I was going to make with all that. There will be a lot of protocols. There's a lot of hand washing, masks when you're in rest areas, mask at the start and before you start, a lot of that sort of stuff. Again, read the reg page. I spent a lot of time on it. Read all my words.
I'm going to make a YouTube video.
Where was it? We did unsupported. Oh, all right. Back to this one. Especially since Joey can't use Airbnb.
I just want to go on a honeymoon.
Or hotel.
Say that one more time, Dave.
Camp or hotel?
Ooh. Doors on the hotel on the inside or outside?
Oh, hotel or motel?
I got a rule with doors on the outside.
Bed and breakfast, established lodging.
The Chatterdon's house?
Indoor or outdoor?
No, they don't need their lawn hotel. They can't like have everyone come in every day to go mow their lawn.
That's tough. I love camping. It got freaking cold last year.
Yes, it did.
I almost want to say
anytime in the
hotel.
summer, anytime, starting from August through October.
August is hot.
If you're doing the weekend, yeah.
I'm like, I got to be just right. I don't know. It's one of those areas where it's beautiful to camp. So I'm probably going to go camping. I'm going to camp by a creek. I'm going to go fishing. My wife is probably going to ride her bike while I do that. I'm going to do...
And stay in a hotel.
And stay in a hotel.
Yeah. Well, more
she's
fishing
at a
for me.
hotel.
Penns Creek and everything's right around there.
You guys know it. I normally spend, by this time of the year, I've lived in a tent probably as much as I've lived in a
Hobo
house.
Vista is made just for you.
Yeah, so I would be okay.
Not a camping site, by the way. Can't camp on Hobo Vista. But anyway.
I don't know if this has made me soft because I haven't slept in a tent in a while, and I haven't slept on an air mattress in a while, and
I got a rooftop tent for my truck.
I would probably be if it was not. I mean, it's a beautiful area. I'm sure there's tons of great places to camp. I would camp. I don't.
Can I put my input in real quick?
Sure.
So DK 2017, I actually camped for that, and luckily I had a bathhouse the biggest thing with that and gravel bike ride in general is you're looking forward to that nice shower afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's might be why I would pick a hotel.
Hobo bath. Come on! You do 4 days on the canal in the rain, in the mud, on the canal in the
disgusting.
old days when the canal
That
was
last time we rode the
disgusting.
canal was disgusting. I look forward to hosing myself off.
And you just jump in the river and make sure you got good biodegradable soap and all good.
There's something I don't know. There's something about like DK or something where the best thing I was looking forward to was a shower.
There's nothing like taking a bath in the middle of the river and having people float by in a canoe.
I don't know. That would be might be why I would lead to a hotel.
Yeah. Okay.
Support the tourism too.
There you go. Well,
no, that's a segue, but let Jess finish.
Support the town.
Jess, you're up.
Thank you. I will be staying in a hotel where I can charge my cell phone and take a nice shower and watch some TV and have a temperature controlled room. I've never once slept in a tent.
There we go.
Well then,
That's pretty decisive. No wiggle room on that.
Very sorry.
well,
You can have fun with your friends, enjoy the fishing, go to the bars, do what you need to. I will be at the hotel, asleep by 9 o'clock.
oh fine. I'll just camp with Mike the kid. I don't think he's going to be there, but you know,
Well,
He's
now
not talking to
since
you.
Dave,
he won't talk to me. I sent him like 4 emails.
Joey Stalker, Joey Stalker. This is that ginger
Waiting for
kid.
that episode.
I want him on here.
Never.
So yeah, what's the right answer, Dave?
Yeah, what's the right answer?
Both are correct answers, and if you want to camp, there's definitely great places to camp up
Yeah.
there. And a lot of it's free. You just got to get a permit, like a 1-day permit to do it. So figure that sort of stuff out. But just not only do you get to charge your cell phone and watch TV, but that's not all. If you book a room with the Tourism Cyclist Weekend package, you'll get unpaved swag, get a buffalo, you get some stuff from Floyd's and Goo and chamois butter.
Joey,
You
you
get
picked
special
the tent.
discounts from Reload bags and Stan's No Tubes and Purple Lizard maps and Nittany Mountain Works and
Well,
recreation guides. And so anyone who who does that package, we're hooking people up with the hotel rooms to, again, help support tourism and that sort of thing.
I did get like 12 buffalo from Brett.
They're all in the training room upstairs.
No,
there's another 100 or so waiting in the Lewisburg, Danville, Bloomsburg area. So
I'm very much supporting the town. I mean, I would support the town over anything.
Yeah,
Plus, you get a nice hotel room.
You know that, and that's the thing.
Camping there is great. Like, there's no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Camping in that region is fantastic. Like you said, Penn's Creek is so pretty.
I love that
You
place.
don't get a
It's all
t-shirt.
good. And where Army J sets his
all about
camp up
t-shirt.
on that day
Uh-huh.
on Huffnagel Road is one of the prettiest spots on earth. So
Yeah.
there's no bad answer.
The good answer is to do the virtual weekend and camp, and then go another weekend and stay in a hotel.
Oh, you want to do a 2-weekender?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Ooh,
I'm already
oh,
planning on
the
it.
right answer is going up every weekend.
to ask my boss for a day off.
I was going to say Saturday off.
I understand.
I don't know, but it might slow down.
So
All
you
right,
just
so
your idea.
last question on this or that. At the finish line, you want a whoopie pie or a beer?
I'm not gonna sound. I don't know how. I want to take the whoopie pie. I can have good beer. Rusty Rail beer is great, and I can have that later. But man, those whoopie pies they're their own category.
Yep. I'm right there with you, Joe. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Whoopie pie infused or alcoholic infused whoopie pie.
Oh, those were wonderful. I remember they had.
Yeah.
You knew they were.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We
alcohol.
forgot about that. The Woolly Worm
I have
Festival.
not forgotten about the Woolly Worm Festival, the alcohol-infused whoopie pies. I craved them.
Well, the alcohol's a bonus, but the regular whoopie pies were out of this world.
Yeah,
They were amazing.
That I would definitely go with the authentic Pennsylvania whoopie pie.
Yeah.
because I can buy my beer.
We had some sent to our house, and I never got one, so I'm excited for the whoopie pie.
Oh, that came with the buffaloes.
Joey and
That
Wes
one
had them
may
at
have
the
been
bike
smashed.
shop.
Month-old whoopie pie.
Oh, we fought over those, me and
Pie
Wes.
at this point
Yep.
anymore. It's more like a whoopie waffle, whoopie wafer,
Whoopie puck.
whoopie pie.
Oh, I love those.
So what's the
Well, let's
right
get to
answer?
that one. I don't have a right answer on. I
Oh.
for feedback. So that's
Oh.
helpful.
I feel like the beer would keep people congregated.
Yeah.
Well, That's actually a good segue too, though, because there will not be a unPaved party. There'll not be free beer flowing at the finish line. There won't be that
Those
sort of stuff.
amazing hot
You know,
pockets.
it's basically thank you for finishing, a little bit of something, hopefully whoopie pie, and a pat on the back. Is that safe to do? Probably.
Maybe.
And then
You need like a hand stick.
tourism's going to try and do like some helping, like almost like a concierge, like saying, here's this restaurant has a couple tables open, or they can help you get a
nice.
reservation, that sort of stuff. We're trying to work through that to, like, you know, so you can go get something to eat afterwards because it's a long day. But that's for the full one. So
Yeah. And you'll also, I mean, I remember the timing. Last year, you still had riders coming in at 8 and 9 o'clock.
Longer.
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it was like 8:39, I think.
Yeah. So I mean that's still going to be once, and especially if they're being spread out in a time trial kind of an environment. You know, are you starting the faster riders earlier
That's a
or
good
the
question.
faster
No.
riders later?
Opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you give those people that are going to be in it for a while the opportunity to get out early.
Did you ever
Well,
hear?
if you need all day, then you should start earlier.
Yeah.
If you,
Yeah,
and I
that's
thought about doing that anyways, doing that kind of wave thing, because, yeah, I mean, Allison, Kelly, Ted, they don't need Matt, they don't need 12 hours to finish.
Yeah.
They could start their day at 9 and not have to be there at 7:30 freezing cold and just get out and roll. And
Yep.
how cool is it when you're out on course and watch one of them fly up a hill, or as everyone said, like watch them fly down a hill?
Oh
It's like, how is that possible?
Physics.
Don't try it at home. They're trained professionals. Don't crash in a corner.
when Joey and I ride gravel, I'd like move out of my way. I'm going downhill and I'm not stopping.
Yeah, you got like no fear of death.
I have health insurance.
Check your brakes. Check your brakes.
Until the
check your
first wreck.
brakes.
you need to use your brakes a little bit more. I think Leesburg or whatever is a little different than unpaved descending. You're going to be that person that wrecks in that first corner Dave was talking about. So,
Where's my whoopie pie?
speaking of which, transition-wise, can I talk to you about sponsors really quick?
Absolutely.
So obviously the big elephant in the room. No, it's not. So the Chase doesn't exist anymore, right?
I think
They retired. That's been
retired
retired.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
I
down-
worded that weird.
It's down on the keys.
Yeah, Chase doesn't exist. Is Salsa a big sponsor of the event still?
Yes, Salsa is in. Stans is in. Susquehanna River Valley Fishersboro is title sponsor. Goo, Floods of Leadville, all coming back strong. Same with Reload and Nittany Mountain Works. Richie Logic, love them. Purple Lizard Maps, which would not be possible without Philly Bike Expo. Blue Pine Lights is coming out a little bit more this year. They're going to give us some really cool prizes. Volet is our gear, and we have some really cool gear. I'm a recovering graphic designer, and I realized I need to stop doing that for this event, and hired a really good graphic designer. And the gear that's coming out shortly is absolutely bananas. I'm really excited. If you sign up, you'll see a preview image, but we'll soon be able to share that with everyone. It's really cool stuff, and chamois butter too.
Cool.
Oh, you love chamois butter.
But I call it
Chamois-
Cameos butter.
Chamois butter's in the weekend package thing. Like, there's little samples of that.
They
So, yeah,
sent
chamois
me
butter's the best stuff.
They sent me some nice stuff for
They
my
sent
chub
her
rub.
care package, which
Yeah,
was cool.
they're really nice to me.
Although, so they sent her like an actual like swag box for free, but they didn't give her any extra chamois butter. I was like, what the hell?
They
Like,
gave me that good stuff that I don't have to take showers.
oh, like the wash and stuff.
And Joey's like, no, you still have to shower.
I'm like, where's the chamois butter? Like, I sell it at the store, but you know,
Really? I just put Euro style all over myself. It's like cologne.
it's that menthol.
Yeah, that's,
Do
do that, and I grow a mustache and a mullet, and I'm very Euro.
Oh, there you go. Are you going to ride your salsa, Jessica?
I am. My
So
nice
you-
single
like,
speed.
Your sponsor, correct?
Is there going to be... And
Heck yeah.
so the Marine Corps Marathon has an award for the last runner that comes in.
It's called the Lantern
Lantern
Rouge
Rouge.
in cycling.
So
Yep.
That's usually me.
We call them DFLs in cycling. For dead something last.
So, I mean, I don't know. I take a long time, but I'm a slow but steady rider.
So last year we gave and they came in together, so we had to scramble real quick. But last year, the two guys who finished it, which
Oh,
again,
yeah.
how awesome is that? Two guys who never met each other before spent the entire day out there together
Wow.
and finished dead
Oh, that,
last.
yeah, you guys broadcasted that. That was pretty cool.
So one got Stan's wheel set and free and cheap for this year, and the other got a $250 vacation package from the tourism and free entry this year. So we're being in touch with both of them. And if they don't want to come this year, totally understandable. We'll defer to next year. Yep. So
I'll bet you dollars to donuts, Dave, that those two guys still talk to each other.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pen pals.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mid-South has been, they are kind of the bellwether for doing the DFL prize. That's kind of one of their claims to fame. So I don't want to like try and overshadow like, oh, it's really, we're going to do that too. I mean, but it is pretty awesome to do that. What we try to do with our prizes, we get a lot of prizes from these great sponsors, and I don't want to give them people on the podium because they get stuff. They already get stuff.
What's the Ted King
so
gonna need?
That's great. So like, yeah, we'll give them like a bigger whoopie pie, and a mug with a little more beer in it. But the prizes we just try and spread out randomly throughout everyone, no matter where you finish, because it's everyone's day, and that's another reasons why. And I wish this was a normal year, because one of the things I'm really happy with that we started doing was all finisher prizes are the same. No matter if you did the 120, the 90, the 54, or the 30. You got the same thing, because that's your day. And that's as big as a day as you wanted to do, that you deserve a prize for the big day. And it doesn't matter if what you can do is 120 miles or what you can do is 30 or somewhere in between. Like, you deserve a big prize for taking on as big of a thing you can do. Well, and I can't wait for next year when we can do that again.
You guys gave away so much just in random giveaways at the unPaved party, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, the amount of stuff from Nittany and Richie and stuff, like, people are getting like whole cockpits for their bike.
Salsa bags?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I did snag a saddlebag.
That's their EXP stuff. I mean, that's their top shelf stuff.
Which isn't available right now, QBP.
Is anything available on QBP?
I did order a Warbird for a customer today, which is sold.
Whoa!
We've actually, I need to talk to the kid. We've been selling so much salsa. I don't want to sound like a fan. I upped my salsa inventory and sales since unPaved because of unPaved.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not like trying to be a brown noser. I was impressed. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Can I get that clip and send the kid? And then
you can
get them on. Yeah. Send me that video. Send me that little 10-second clip there, Brian.
No, but for real, like between me and Wes and being so happy with salsa, I mean, we've always liked them. I got rid of my salsa right before that, only because another, not because of salsa, but I was thoroughly impressed by salsa, that my salsa inventory went up dramatically and my salsa sales went up because of unPaved. Well, because of the presence there. Let's just say that.
Nice.
Cool.
The kid won't email me back, but...
Fantastic to work with. And I'm the same thing. Like, I used to have salsa stems on my mountain bikes back in the day with all the cool stems and stuff.
Yeah.
And then forgot about them for a while and never had a bike.
Yeah.
And then started working with them. It's like, all right, maybe I should get a Warbird. I hear it's pretty awesome. And that's just one of my little perks with the bike world, is you can't test drive things. You can't test ride things for the most part. You just got to do some stuff on faith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, a lot of people said it's a good bike. I don't know. I guess I'll get one. I hope it's a good bike. Holy smokes, what a great bike.
It's funny you said that. So I sold 2 salsas today. I did have a guy call about, it's the Backborough, which is like their extra cycle fat bike thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, hey, can I test ride this thing? And I was like, no. I mean, you give me a deposit worth the value of the bike, and sure, I'll order it, but I am never going to sell it. Like, there are some bikes like that. Yeah, I'll stock a Warbird just for someone to test ride.
And I feel you, but I also feel like that's an investment. That is not a cheap piece of.
That is a big decision for a mom and pop bike shop.
It's almost worth a trip to Minnesota.
Go ride with the kid.
Oh, go ride up.
He has that cool video with that
My
thing.
God, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to be on a Warbird by the time unPaved starts.
Oh, no, not another bike.
Well,
Yes, I don't know if you listen to the show.
I honestly
I will say,
I am isolating that.
sponsor correct. The thing right now, I could sell my Sequoia for a crap ton of money right now and make money and buy a Warbird. That's a business decision right there. It's a podcast
God.
write-off. We make tens of dollars.
I just did something I've never done before. I opened up a notepad on my computer, and I actually took a note of the timestamp for that quote because that was so flippin' genuine and so flippin' on point.
That's another bike.
I'm just saying, I want to be like Dave.
Dave, that was thank you. That was a tremendous. That was like, I don't know. That format of explaining unpaved 2020 was just so on point for Mid-Atlantic gravel, travel, and dirt.
I do listen to you guys every morning. Maybe not tomorrow morning, but I'm a faithful listener. So I took it pretty seriously that I could serve up this or that. I did not want to screw that up.
But
so
no,
thanks for playing along.
It was fantastic in that it gave us the opportunity, that really did walk through the event. I think anybody that takes the time to consume this is going to have a really good understanding now as to the format.
And then go to the website and registration pages and read everything.
Yeah.
Joey's going to do it tonight. He's going to make a YouTube. I know this. He's going to read it.
Give me a couple
monotone voice. He's going to be like, welcome to Unpaved. And he's just going to read all of it. I know this is going to happen.
A dramatic reading of the event page and the event notes would be fantastic.
In style of Alexander Hamilton.
I'm going to do Hamilton and Unpaved.
Gonna wrap the bike reg for Unpaved.
Let me grab my bourbon over there and I'll start.
Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Joey, are we going to do the Strava Club real quick? I think people want to hear their shouts.
Shouts.
You want me to do it?
No.
Okay.
All right. This guy's name is the Silver Snuffer.
Oh, jeez.
The Silver Snuffer from North Braddock, PA, had 150.8 miles. Dave Cox from Lynchburg, Virginia, had 254.4 miles. And John Hormel from Houston, Texas, had 212.8 miles. So we actually dropped from like 145 down to 135, probably because of the heat for the top 100. But we are teeter-tottering at 599 Strava members. But we're up from 597. And like I said, we always have more listeners than Strava members, and except for Jess, everyone's on Strava. Strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt. And while you're on there, Dave, don't you have a new Strava club?
I do. We did start one for unpavers.
Yep. So we need to make sure that, and you need to be a part, or you don't have to be, but it's a good idea if you're doing unpaved in some way, shape, or form. Dave just did a costume change.
My good friend Celine told me when I was having a rough day, she told me to take off my technology and just ride like you're having fun. And I have not put my Garmin on since.
I've done that with my teeth.
I have.
Jess can't stand to look at me.
Yeah.
I'm an animal. I'm a monster. Look away. Look away. Look away.
You did scare my 4-year-old nephew tonight on FaceTime.
Hey, Dave, you got anything else you want to add before we wrap this thing up and shut it down?
Other than this general love for you guys, for all the support, helping me think through a lot of this sort of stuff, and anyone, all the listeners are on the Unpavers Facebook group. By the way, the Unpavers Facebook group has been fantastic. So I know there's a lot of listeners who are on that. Again, community. We are changing a lot of things right now to protect our community. Please keep protecting the community. If for any reason you find a good reason that this should not happen, let me know. Talk to me. I'm open to this sort of stuff. And I've been overwhelmed with positivity from this. I'm sure there's some negative reaction to this. Please let me know. I'm open to it. We can talk it through. And we're just trying to get through this next year or two, hopefully not 3 together. So thank you.
I love the way you put that, Dave, because gravel is a community. And we should all be protecting that community, and that right there, I think, is the hinge pin for it all. So, Joe, you got anything else before we shut it down?
Well, I could keep talking, so I'm just gonna.
I poured another beer, so you can...
I could keep going.
This is the first podcast in a long time they haven't talked about fishing. So
we
let's just keep it going.
She opened the door. She opened the door.
Well, Dave did talk about paddleboarding. I think we're a little over an hour, so I won't talk too long. I think I want to confess my love for salsa again. You're on a salsa now.
I'm on a salsa.
Jess, do you have anything else before you shut it down?
No. Thanks so much. Follow me at Jess_Santora.
There we go. And how do folks enter your road ID contest?
You're a road ID ambassador doing a giveaway.
I am. It'll all be posted about how to tag, like, and do that.
Cool.
Because it's good. It's good to keep you safe on the road.
Great.
So, quick question.
Oh,
never mind. I'll ask that off. I'm going to get yelled at for that one.
You will not. I don't yell. But remember, I don't edit.
Quick question.
Go ahead. Dave wants your quick question.
So, no, this is controversy because when Specialized came out with Angie on their helmets, this like your little sorry, Jess, I'm gonna get so much trouble for this.
Going. You're fine, but if you buy another helmet, I'm done.
Helmet? Whoa! You got a brand new POC helmet from yours truly.
True.
A Switch. I do not wear Specialized anymore.
Fiactal?
Yep. I'm actually transitioning like out of Specialized for everything.
Yeah.
Mainly because of Dave.
You're welcome.
No,
So-
that's pretty close. I want to be like Dave.
Is this the Moscow Mule talking, or do you have...
It's half and half. It's bringing back unpaved flashbacks because that was the drink of the night for me.
PTSD.
See, I feel like I'm just saying.
Come on.
So you said be safe on the road.
Yes.
Is it selling safety or fear? The road ID. Because this is my controversy with Angie. Specialized tries to sell fear with the Angie helmet.
Oh, they're marketing fear as the.
They're marketing fear.
Yeah, I get it.
All the
I
road
understand
ID
that.
is way more important.
Joey, every time I go to the grocery store and I can't remember your phone number for the tag-in, that's what I do. I look at my thing and I say, oh, I know exactly what his phone number is.
I may actually go back to editing just to pull that little sucker right
Yeah,
out. But I'm not.
that
gonna
part
do
was
it.
the Moscow Mule.
Hey, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel in the Dirt, and thank you, Dave, for joining us. This is a listener-supported podcast by some pretty incredible, amazing people on Patreon or PayPal, including our guest, Dave. Thank you, Dave, for all that support. Our show can be found wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Hey, Joey, how can folks get in touch with us?
Our website is graveltraveldirt.com. Our Instagram, which I actually have some photos to upload. I've started a photo library on my phone, is at Mid-Atlantic GTD. Our phone has cobwebs on it now, but our phone number is 410-231-3850. I'm going to say that again, 410-231-3850.
And call it. Don't text it, people. Call it.
You know how many times I think about calling it? Like when I was to do a show and then I don't get around to doing it. Like I feel like I should be able to heckle your podcast through the phone line.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start doing that.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. We accept all forms of heckling.
I mean, I even forgot to call it that time I was in New York fishing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to call and heckle the guys. I didn't even do it. So I'm the worst. Our hashtag is #AskGTD.
Did you say hashtag?
Well, I was thinking, I'm used to saying at, like that symbol to tag. It's #AskGTD.
Now we miss West. All right.
All right.
Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel and Dirt this week is recorded from Joey's kitchen and Dave's back porch, maybe? I don't know.
No, this is the...
I don't know. All I can see is the ceiling in the top of your head. So
Are you calling this house a porch?
No, I can't see anything. Thanks for riding along with us, and until next time, you know what to do. Do good, be nice, go slow, respect others, and stay healthy, and sign up for unPaved. Go up for the weekend.
Yes. Support local
tourism. I will
tourism.
be up there a lot of weekends. Let's do a retreat, Mid-Atlantic Gravel Travel Dirt Retreat.
Yep. Maybe we need to talk about that. Stay tuned, folks. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Sorry, Joey.